You're going about your day when suddenly everything goes catastrophically wrong. The ground beneath your feet lurches forward at an unimaginable speed. Buildings crumble, and the oceans surge across continents. If you thought your Monday mornings were rough before, well, this takes starting the week off on the wrong foot to a whole new level. Our planet has been spinning on its axis since its formation 4.5 billion years ago, gradually slowing down but never stopping. You could say Earth is like that one friend who never knows when the party's over. It just keeps on spinning. This rotation is fundamental to life as we know it, influencing everything from our daily cycles to global weather patterns. In this episode of Imagine If, we're going to look at what would really happen if Earth suddenly stopped spinning, and why our planet's rotation might be the most underappreciated force keeping us all alive. The first moments would be apocalyptic. Earth's surface at the equator moves at approximately 1,037 miles per hour. If the planet suddenly stopped spinning, everything not firmly attached to the Earth's crust would continue moving at this speed due to inertia. The result? A global catastrophe of unprecedented scale. Cities would be instantly demolished as buildings, vehicles, and people would become high-speed projectiles moving eastward. The atmosphere itself would continue moving, creating supersonic winds that would scour the surface clean of most structures and life forms. These winds would generate massive friction, heating the air and potentially igniting global firestorms. The oceans would fare no better. Currently held in place by Earth's rotation, which creates a bulge at the equator, the sudden stop would send walls of water rushing toward the poles. These mega tsunamis would be thousands of feet high, dwarfing anything in recorded history. Low-lying coastal areas would disappear beneath the waves, while other regions would emerge from the depths as the ocean redistributes itself. Beachfront property values would certainly take an interesting turn. Subscribe, like, and let us know your craziest what-if scenario in the comments. Your imagination fuels our next adventure. The new ocean configuration would be drastically different from what we know today. The equatorial regions would become largely dry land, while massive new oceans would form around the poles. This redistribution would permanently alter Earth's geography and climate patterns. Without rotation, Earth would become a perfect sphere rather than its current oblate spheroid shape. This transformation would trigger massive earthquakes as the crust adjusts, activating volcanoes and creating new mountain ranges. The planet's magnetic field, generated by the rotation of its liquid iron core, would eventually weaken and possibly disappear, leaving us vulnerable to harmful solar radiation. The length of a day would change dramatically. Instead of our familiar 24-hour cycle, the Earth would eventually become tidally locked with the Sunday, similar to how the Moon always shows the same face to Earth. One side of the planet would experience perpetual daylight, while the other remained in endless night. Assuming any life survived the initial catastrophe, spoiler alert, it's not looking good. It would face a radically different environment. The loss of the Coriolis effect would completely reshape global weather patterns. Wind and ocean currents would follow simpler patterns between the hot and cold hemispheres, creating new climate zones unlike anything in Earth's history. The perpetual day and night sides would create extreme temperature differences. The sun-facing hemisphere would become unbearably hot, while the dark side would plunge into a deep freeze. A narrow band of habitability might exist along the Terminator line, the border between light and dark, where temperatures could remain moderate enough for life. Fortunately, Earth's rotation stopping suddenly is physically impossible without an external force so massive it would destroy the planet anyway. The angular momentum of Earth's rotation is a fundamental property of our planet, and it can only change gradually through natural processes. In reality, Earth's rotation is slowing down, but at an extremely slow rate, adding about 1.8 milliseconds to the length of a day every century. This natural process will continue for billions of years, but will never experience anything like the scenario described above. While this doomsday scenario remains firmly in the realm of science fiction, thankfully, alongside talking cats and politicians keeping all their promises, exploring it helps us appreciate the delicate balance of forces that make Earth habitable. Our planet's rotation influences countless aspects of life that we often take for granted, from the simple rhythm of day and night to the complex systems that regulate our climate. Understanding these relationships not only satisfies our scientific curiosity, but also highlights the importance of protecting our planet's delicate systems as we face real environmental challenges. This thought experiment reminds us that Earth's current state isn't guaranteed. It's the result of billions of years of cosmic fine-tuning that we should strive to preserve. And hey, next time someone tells you to stop the world, I want to get off, you can explain why that might not be the best idea after all.